Good morning. So yesterday, we received a letter from the law clerk about the SDTC scandal and the Liberal government's refusal to hand over documents. I just want to read a key part from that letter. It reads, all three government institutions provided documents containing redactions and or withheld some pages. So that means clearly the government is picking and choosing which documents it hands over. They're literally keeping some documents away from the RCMP and hiding, covering up, and redacting many of these documents. This was something that was not allowed in the original House order. So we are yet again faced with a situation that the Trudeau Liberals are choosing to keep Parliament paralyzed with this scandal. They would rather grind Parliament to a halt than hand over documents related to the scandal to the RCMP. And let's remember what this scandal is all about. Liberal-friendly board members, people appointed to the board by Justin Trudeau, funneled tax dollars into their own companies. The Auditor General found $400 million worth of grants misappropriated in this way. Also found over 180 conflicts of interest. And the government has fought transparency on this all along the way. They refused to listen to warnings from whistleblowers. They fought Conservatives' efforts to uncover details about this scandal. And it was only after Conservatives called in the Auditor General that the sordid details of this affair were made known to Canadians. This is also a pattern from this Liberal government. Remember, they've done this before. They've kept documents hidden and redacted key pieces of information with other scandals like the WE organizations. And remember, this is the government that took the Speaker to court to prevent information from being handed over related to the Winnipeg Labs. So this is a pattern with this government. They misappropriate taxpayers' dollars. They allow Liberal insiders to line their own pockets at the expense of hardworking men and women across Canada. And then when they get caught, they do everything in their power to hide the details. So yesterday's stunt by the Liberals changes nothing. They must comply with the House order to hand over all the documents so the RCMP can investigate. So I'll hand this over to my colleague to say a few words in French, and then we'll be happy to answer your questions.
Merci, Andrew. Hier, on a reçu une lettre de la part du conseiller légiste de la Chambre des communes qui nous dit que des documents ont été remis dans le dossier du Fonds vert libéral dans le scandale de 400 millions de dollars. Scandale, je vous le rappelle, qui a fait en sorte que des gens qui ont été nommés par le Parti libéral ont dirigé des sommes publiques vers leur propre compagnie. La vérificatrice générale qui a trouvé 400 millions de dollars, ça c'est 8 fois le scandale des commandites. En problématique dans cette situation-là. Plus de 180 conflits d'intérêts directs ou indirects ont été révélés par la vérificatrice générale. Et hier, on a reçu la confirmation que le gouvernement libéral continue de camoufler de l'information aux Canadiens. Et c'est pas moi qui le dis, c'est Michel Bédard, le légiste et conseiller parlementaire. Et permettez-moi de citer la lettre qu'il a envoyée au président libéral de la Chambre. Les trois institutions gouvernementales ont fourni des documents expurgés et ou ont retenu certaines pages en évoquant la loi sur l'accès à l'information. C'est pas du tout l'ordre de la Chambre. L'ordre de la Chambre était clair. Toutes les organisations qui ont été citées doivent remettre les documents non caviardés dans leur entièreté au Parlement pour que la GRC puisse faire son travail sans avoir à poser d'autres questions. Elle n'aura qu'à consulter les documents. Donc, encore une fois, on voit que les libéraux qui avaient promis de mettre la lumière sur tout et d'être le plus transparent des gouvernements camouflent et utilisent un pattern qu'on leur connaît maintenant. On l'a vu dans We Charity, on l'a vu dans les dossiers, dans les documents du laboratoire de Winnipeg, où le gouvernement a même amené le président de la Chambre jusqu'en cour pour essayer d'empêcher l'accès à ces documents-là. Donc, nous, c'est clair maintenant que le gouvernement a choisi de continuer de paralyser les travaux par des jeux politiques, des jeux de camouflage pour éviter de révéler toutes les informations qu'il détient sur ce scandale de 400 millions de dollars. Donc, le gouvernement n'a qu'une chose à faire pour qu'on puisse reprendre les travaux, continuer notre travail à la Chambre des communes, c'est de remettre, comme l'ordre de la Chambre le précise, tous les documents au niveau de ce scandale de 400 millions de dollars au greffier de la Chambre pour qu'on puisse continuer et faire notre travail.
Sur la gestion de l'offre, M. Berthold, sur la gestion de l'offre, le projet de loi du Bloc est devant le Sénat. Est-ce que les conservateurs, puis M. Scheer aussi, vous étiez un grand appui à la gestion de l'offre lorsque vous étiez chef, est-ce que les conservateurs vont demander aux sénateurs conservateurs de faire adopter la loi telle qu'elle a été déposée?
Pour l'instant, on va attendre de voir ce que le Sénat va faire. Il y a un amendement qui est débattu dans l'autre chambre, donc on va voir comment les sénateurs vont rendre le projet de loi. Donc, on va attendre de voir le Sénat, qu'est-ce que le Sénat va faire, et on attend impatiemment de voir qu'est-ce que le Sénat va faire, et on verra par la suite qu'est-ce qu'on va faire avec la décision du Sénat.
Justin Trudeau a une grande majorité au Sénat. Il contrôle le Sénat. Beaucoup des sénateurs l'ont nommé et ils sont tous les amis de Justin Trudeau. Alors, mais Justin Trudeau a une grande majorité au Sénat.
Mr. Chair, can you clarify the Conservatives' plans for the remaining 4 weeks? Are you planning to continue these privilege debates past the estimates tabling, for example? Like, you will not stop for any date in which payments need to be made, or the House needs to do other work in order to ensure other payments can be made?
Well, I think you should frame this as what it is. It's the government that is choosing not to move on to other business.
So I'm just trying to understand what your lines are.
The Speaker has ruled that no other business can take place until this order has been complied with. The Trudeau Liberals are choosing not to comply with this order, so it's really up to them. That would be a great question for Ms. Gould, and it's the Liberals that are continuing this. I should point out that they are speaking to this motion. They are participating in the debate themselves, as are other parties. So this is clearly a decision that the Trudeau Liberals have made to continue to keep Parliament paralyzed rather than hand over documents to the RCMP.
Why would they introduce a government in contempt motion then?
Well, this is the motion that relates from this particular refusal to comply with the original production order, and the Speaker ruled that all other business has to be put aside until this particular motion is dealt with. We have already this session. We have already proposed non-confidence motions. We want to have a carbon tax election so Canadians can choose whether they want Justin Trudeau's plan to quadruple the carbon tax or our plan to axe the tax. We're very clear on that. That's been our position. Our goal now is to have these documents handed over to the RCMP so the RCMP can investigate as to whether or not criminal charges should be laid against Liberal insiders who sat around a table allocating taxpayers' money into their own companies.
They're investigating it, and they say they're not looking at the documents that the House has sent.
No, the whistleblower was very clear on this, that all the documents were necessary so that intent and motive can be established. Well, the production order is very clear. After the first round of documents were handed over to the RCMP, the RCMP announced that they started investigating. So clearly, this is something that needs to be complied with. The government needs to respect a lawful order of Parliament. And we wouldn't be here if the government had treated this seriously in the first place, if they had listened to the whistleblower, if they had heeded the warnings that were being raised. But this is, again, a pattern of behavior with this Liberal government to line Liberal insiders' pockets with taxpayers' money, and then when they get caught, fight kicking and screaming to prevent accountability.
If this motion makes it to a House committee, there is still a procedure for you to be able to pursue the documents. If the motion passes and this goes to procedure in House Affairs Committee, there's still a path for you to pursue these documents. Why not let debate collapse on this so you can focus on the Randy issue, the other privilege motion that's waiting in the wings?
We are very eager to move on to the other Randy scandal and get to the bottom of that. Second, fifth, or sixth, or seventh Liberal scandal. But again, this is a choice that the Liberals are making. The Liberals are choosing to keep this particular scandal in front of Parliament, putting aside all other business. That is their choice. They would rather keep Parliament ground to a halt than abide by a lawful production order and respect taxpayers' dollars. So this is their choice.